The music is so serene right now. Just hanging. Talk to the sorrows at the burial ground. Yeah. Fast travel would be turned off because this is the everything's going bad bit. But we'll see what I can do. Secret trash log. Well, that was funny. I was going so slowly, so the reveal that the game was counting that as being like me falling the entire time. So the moment I stopped falling, it's like, well, he fell for 10 seconds. That's definitely a fatal fall. This is very funny. Am I gonna make it through this? Am I stopping enough that it doesn't kill me? Okay. Because yeah, I was not moving at much of a velocity, so I was definitely alive. Till I wasn't. Just here for one of these crazy stash logs. I'm overemphasizing them a little bit because they weren't actually set up by the story that much. In fact, of all of the lines in this game, that's the one that was used the least. He just briefly was like, those things have stuff in them sometimes. And then it never came up again. Which is impressive, considering they say the same things constantly in this expansion. But I guess it is a dialogue that's prompted by... it's dialogue prompted by proximity to a mechanic, so we'd have to be by it for it to come up, really. So I'm currently operating with the idea that I have chosen the path of evacuation, and I am now expected to do what I can to save the people, even if it means violence. Because my goal is to do what the other guy wants, not what this guy wants, because this guy worries me. That's kind of just like the path I'm taking and seeing how that goes. People got really emotional arguing against me about the choices I make in this story. Some people say I'm playing the most evil character they've ever seen that isn't meant to be evil, which is amusing. But sometimes it's because they're making leaps based on wider context that they know that isn't tied to my in-universe knowledge of behind the choice half the time. Because making worse consequences does not make you evil in most uses of that word, simply because evil is supposed to be intent. Whereas, like, if you trigger some crazy butterfly effect stuff, or you have unknown consequences because you don't know the full picture or something, that's different. And sometimes I don't fully gather every single element of the narrative, and I don't double, triple check everything, and I don't necessarily, like, stop and, like, rewatch every cutscene to figure out everything I may have hypothetically missed. Because, you know, doing a playthrough, you generally trying to keep things moving along. So if I keep second-guessing myself, sometimes it's just going to be, like, pushing myself into inaction in a series where I'm, on some level, trying to be like, okay, we gotta finish this eventually, it's gonna take like 100 episodes, but damn! Imagine me going even slower. Oop! Thought he was just gonna fall to his death. Is this a safe route? Oh! Interesting invisible wall stuff going on. Okay. You're fine. I am stocking up. There is so much yucca fruit. I see tiny moving shapes down there. But yeah, textually, his back and forth of being like, no, we must not stain ourselves, we must not fight them. But then also being like, at the last second, turning back and being like, fight if you need to, kind of change things up in a way where it's like, I don't fully get if, like, on some level it feels like me doing these quests feels like me doing his will instead of the guy that I'm actually trying to listen to.
Katubiu, not you friend of Soros, yes? Together we smash white legs that defile holy places, yes?
Just get out of here. You're no match for hardened white leg soldiers, warriors.
No. We not let white legs defile our ancestors. We go. We fight.
Fine, but at least let me handle it alone. You're no match for hardened white leg warriors.
Since you are friend to Soros, we go. But you kill white legs. You.
Okay, well I saved them. That's good, right? I got bad news about the burial grounds, and that the moment you guys leave, your enemies are still going to go after your burial grounds if that's a thing they were choosing to do. So this is a pointless... This is kind of a point... Like, of all of the points of resistance, this is the most pointless one. In fact, I think ill of these guys, specifically because, as far as I'm like, members of their tribe were taken as prisoners, and they were going to prioritize their burial grounds over the still living members of their tribe that were being attacked by the same tribe. It just feels like there's a correct answer here, which thing to focus on. But part of that is just the fact that, like, I hate to break it to you, but if you're leaving and they're staying, then I've got bad news. Because if you're leaving and they're staying, then if they want to desecrate your burial grounds that you're leaving behind undefended, they will eventually do that. Like, you just cannot... You cannot stop them from just doing it tomorrow. It's not saying it's good. I'm not in any way defending the act, obviously, but it's not the fight to do. Even if you fervently believe in it, you're still ultimately leaving, and then they still ultimately will do it if that's what they want to do. That choice is baked into the idea of leaving. Is that in addition to all the other consequences, there's the fact that you are leaving everything you care about to be theirs. Okay, that one just has a weird fucked up hitbox or something. It flickered for a second there. But it's just not worth focusing on. I need to get back upstairs. Oh.
I'm not worried with you. I'm not worried with you. You murder my heart.
I guess if you're all nice enough to come down here, then I can save a little time there. One of those moments where I just kind of want like a button that yells, "Hey! Come and get it!" Still retaking the bridge. So they just kind of ran down here? Is this the bear den? Did they come all the way here because they're trying to path towards me? They're way up over there? Oh. That'd have been good to know. So the battle to retake the bridge paradoxically involved no fighting on the bridge. In that, the AI just takes off. I mean, they might arrive right when I'm crossing this bridge. But yeah, I'm contextualizing this as I figure, like, us retaking the bridge is still important, like it was indicated as being before, where like it's part of the route that they're using for retreating. It's like why we got rid of all those traps.
Gone. No matter. I'll find.
Oh, rain suddenly. But yeah, this would be a much smoother experience if A, I was able to find the bridge more easily, and B, they stayed on it. Everybody's scattered to the winds now. I have to track them down the specific NPCs. You would think them abandoning the bridge would count as me retaking it at some point. Alright, we're just missing each other now. It's a very goofy sound. Ow! Who let you guys have guns? Rude. I'll be taking that one. Oh, I leveled again? Oh my god. That's a quick one though. E S. There we go. Just doing a bit of those repairs that make it so my inventory isn't obnoxiously full.
Don't try to hide from me. This is where the road ends.
I'm Steve Winnicki.
Did she run all the way back around to the bridge again?
Are you hasty? Haganayu.
Is she inside the walls? This sucks. This is just very annoying. I just want to do the quest, please. Is she inside the terrain? Are you serious?
You'll be back. I can still smell you.
Oh. Oh. Is that them? Did I win? I'm good at video games. Okay. Fight your way to the Pine Creek Tunnel. Back to it then. Yep, and we're at the right place. It's pretty much just through here. That is definitely a nice skill to have, that if anyone ever drops a sledgehammer, or probably other kinds of big two-handed bludgeoning weapons, I can use those to repair my big boy. I don't have to And now if I guess if someone drops heavy armor, I can use that to repair my other armor. And that means I can finally stop paying massive repair bills. Because I've been investing in repair. And a thing that I've been quietly not necessarily voicing is my insecurity of just being like, oh god, am I making a huge mistake? Am I playing the game wrong? I have a repair skill. Repair is one of my highest skills. But I keep paying for repairs because I'm like, I don't know what to do half the time. I know I can technically repair, but I also kind of can't. So the broadening of definitions of repairing should be a huge upgrade for me. Ow. Am I in trouble with the fact that that broke? Uh-oh. Is there a light? I don't think I can use that to repair my good armor. But also, I think no. I was gonna say I just paid out the ass to repair this stuff, but I didn't have my armor last expansion. And then when I went to sell my gold bars, they were so heavy that I did repair I think I repaired my weapon, but I couldn't repair my armor because I wasn't wearing it because it was too heavy. There you are. Everyone else okay? What was that high-pitched noise? I wasn't sure which exact sound that was. It's not a leveling sound.
Foolish, Outman. You best white legs you think. By my spear you die.
So this is functionally the same as just having wiped them out myself and not left. This doesn't feel like I made much of a choice ultimately. Can't we just, you know, be friends?
Weak words you talk. Now you see, strong spears better than weak words.
Let's see how strong my spears are, warrior.
This good fight will be.
I'm gonna flatten him. Wow, I knocked him so far back that I can't even VATS him with melee weapons. Boo! Look at him fly. Wow, Salt Upon Wounds was the most dangerous close-range warrior I've ever met. I have so much respect for how terrifying he was. Anyway. The Power Fist. Maybe I know somebody who will want that. His armor's whatever. Did it.
Please, have you done everything you can for the sorrows? Are they all accounted for?
Yes, go.
You've done more than I could have ever hoped for. Thank you. And may God protect you for all of your days. Goodbye.
Daniel has given you a detonator that is set to detonate the C4 placed above the mouth of the Pine Creek tunnel. Firing this detonator will collapse the passage and prevent any white legs from following Daniel and Sorrows out of Zion. Am I supposed to? Okay. I can't move or do anything, so I was like, is this a cutscene? That was
so it was
startling.
that the conflict between the new Canaanites and the Whitelegs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
After the Whitelegs drove the sorrows from Zion, they celebrated by destroying all traces of the valley's former inhabitants. They appealed to the Legion for assimilation, but were denied. Their failure to eradicate the new Canaanites in Grand Staircase and farther up the Colorado had not gone unnoticed. The Whitelegs made a half-hearted effort to find the new Canaanites, but were driven off by dead horses trained in the ways of Joshua Graham. The Whitelegs lost all hope of joining the Legion and disintegrated into a number of petty raiding bands, leaving Zion Valley a polluted cistern.
Daniel succeeded in leading the Sorrows out of Zion, as he had wanted to do from the start. The courier protected the Sorrows during the evacuation, ensuring that most reached their destination unharmed. Over the weeks and months to come, Daniel would see to the Sorrows' resettlement in Grand Staircase. Their adjustment to their new home was not without difficulty, but eventually, the Sorrows came to accept the loss of Zion.
Having helped Daniel and the Sorrows escape from Zion, the Dead Horses returned to their home at Dead Horse Point. The tribe continued to learn from the new Canaanites, and over many years built a flourishing community along the banks of the Colorado. Though the tribe's bond would endure, it was Joshua Graham's legend the Dead Horses would revere, not the tenets of New Canaan's faith.
Already weakened by several seasons of bad trading, the Happy Trails Caravan Company was initially discouraged by the results of its expedition, the fate of New Canaan, and the evacuation of the Sorrows from Zion made the prospect of trading seem fruitless. When Daniel told his family about the exploits of Happy Trails employee the courier, however, New Canaan decided to repay the company's kindness. Twice per year, New Canaanites made the dangerous journey west to trade with a company in the city of New Reno. The Happy Trails Caravan Company could not survive on such trading alone, but the New Canaanites' generosity made tough times go easier.
Waking Cloud turned bitter and resentful toward Daniel and the New Canaanites when she learned her husband's death had been concealed from her. She poisoned some of her tribe against New Canaanite teachings, making relations between the groups difficult from time to time.
After leading the Sorrows from their home in Zion to safety in Grand Staircase, Daniel continued to wonder if he'd made the right choice. He spent his life evangelizing the beliefs of his people to a new generation of young men and women, as his ancestors had for centuries before him. He was happy with his family, but for the rest of his life, there were nights when he awoke with sadness to find he had been dreaming of Zion.
And with that, the courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
Oop, and we're back. I thought I exploded myself and died when the screen freaked out during the explosion. I was like, damn, I was standing way too close to that, but I couldn't move or anything, so just the response to clicking was so upsetting in the moment that I thought it definitely felt like when you kill like when you die in a Half-Life 2 or something. That was extreme. I almost burst out laughing when the narrator from the beginning came back. One, because he's dead, so he can't be narrating the events of that, because he died immediately. He's just out of the story immediately. But also, like, because the trading company was so immediately disregarded in the narrative, I forgot they existed. This all was about being this was all being wrapped up in the narrative of these tribes conflicting and their different ideologies, and by the end, the ending sequence kind of reinforced how a little confused I was, because there were so many factions that I started losing track of, like, oh right, I was first introduced to the Dead Horses, but I guess we didn't, like, help the Dead Horses escape. That was the Canaanites, which is a different faction, basically, in the Sorrows. No, we helped the Sorrows escape, right? Because the Canaanites were dead, but they weren't all dead. It's just that their town was wiped out. But there's enough people that play where it started getting a little confusing. But the extent to which that faction was just like our en route. It was just like, hey, yeah, we're gonna go on a trading mission. 5 seconds into the trading mission, everybody's dead. Oh fuck, you're trapped here. Time to just go ahead and accept this local world and its politics and figure out how to solve this little problem for like the next 3 hours or 4 hours. Like that so quickly supplanted anything up to that point that it was just clear that whatever brought me there was just ultimately like just an excuse to get the protagonist to that location. I don't know. I do kind of wonder, like, if any of them survive the initial ambush, are they in the following story? Do they just show up and split off from your story as you get involved in this whole multi-tribe narrative and focus on that while they're just like, shit, well, the people we came here to trade with are dead and now we're trapped here, so guess you better go solve all our problems for us. And then you just go home with them at the end if they make it out? Do they show up in the final, like, escape sequence if they survive that long? I don't know. All I know is that they were comically easy to kill. Like, that fight sequence started and I didn't have a ranged weapon and they all died in a few seconds, basically, and I'm like, oh, well. In particular, the main voiced guy that explained the mission was just dead immediately. I felt a little bad because I felt myself drift for just a moment while he was talking about what the mission was going to be, and I'm like, oh fuck, I missed a detail. I better like go rewatch that later to make sure I pick up on everything and make sure I didn't miss anything important about his mission. But he just died immediately, so I guess it didn't really matter anyway. Womp womp. It's very goofy. What a wild setup. A last goodbye. Friend, I'd like to thank you for your aid in saving the Sorrows. We expected much greater loss of life, yet you managed to not only prevent that, but also allowed us to safely escape the White Leg's pursuit. You are truly a child of God, even though you might not share my faith. Know that the Sorrows will always remember you, as will my fellow Canaanites. Go in peace, my friend, and accept these humble gifts as tools to further God's work. Daniel. Healing supply? Daniel's mentioned the Sorrows could use additional oh, that's just a quest I did immediately before it even popped up. What's in here? What? Scripture? A light shining in darkness. Chalk's headdress. That's peculiar. I guess this is just them kind of being nice and like not forcing you to lose all this stuff the moment you leave or something. I can repair my helmet with these ones. Speech and perception hat, medical and barter, bad defenses, although mine normally has more. Joshua Graham's armor. I'm not super precious about these things. I'm like, yeah, repair my shit. There we go. Can't do it with that one though. People have strong opinions about me doing anything that doesn't like involve keeping every single weapon I find, apparently. Like, ah, oh, that's a unique one, how could you sell it? I'm like, I'm not using them. I don't need them. It's fine. She's Embrace. What's better? She's Embrace, Assault Upon Wounds, Power Fist. 38 DPS. 37 DPS. Bonus crit, bonus crit. Effects. Is that minus health? That must be an effect on your enemy, right? I assume that's your enemy takes poison damage, essentially. But this one's seen as being... This one's being seen as lower value? Even though it seems like bonus critical chance and damage is probably better than... I guess a bleed is probably more consistent DPS. One way or another. I was able to repair my helmet at least. Huh. Huh. That's weird, right? The whole point is we escaped already, and I sealed it behind them. Oh, because they escaped in a different direction than I'm escaping in. That's what happened. They escaped in a completely different direction, and I've sealed it behind them, and then I go home. For me, I was like, oh, we're all escaping and sealing this place behind us. That means I can't come back. So me waking up there was unexpected. Well, that was a bit of a cul-de-sac, but it gives us a little bit of development of the burned man, although him speaking almost entirely in scripture and self-assured mess made him a little hard to follow. And I guess he's probably not coming up again. Hey, anybody with heavy armor want to die near me so I can repair my armor with your swole-ass armor? There's my new meta.